Hey guys, it's John here coming to you the Play Arts Sky Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance Sora review. So let's jump right in and have a look at his packaging. Packaging wise, Sora comes in this very nicely detailed Play Arts Sky box, of course, with the main character at the front of the box. We have the Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance logo at the top here too, since this figure is based off that game. We have the Disney logo at the top, and of course number 3 Sora, since this is the third version of the character that Play Arts Sky has made. At the top and on the sides, very simple, we have some nice decals and of course the logos of the game and Play Arts Sky themselves. And of course at the back here we have images of Sora in some of his iconic poses with some of his accessories. As you guys can see, we also have Riku here, who is available separately. At the bottom we have credits and warnings. Something special about this box is that the front can open up and you can reveal the figure himself in all of his glory. With all of his accessories, you can see him more. I really like the nice kind of misty, foggy, sparkly detail of the plastic up here. And the crown, it looks fantastic. On this side of the flap, you see just a summary of the game, I guess, itself. So feel free to pause and read that if you'd like. And that goes all the way down. And the bottom here, we just have kind of a summary of different Keyblades that he comes with, which is fantastic. I love this packaging. I really like the clouds that kind of go all the way through. Size comparison wise, next to an SH Figure Arts box, as you guys can see, the Play Arts Sky Kingdom Hearts boxes are huge. Next to a Figma box, still huge, and next to another Play Arts Sky box, Tomb Raider this time, it is still huge. So a problem that I do have with this box is that it's just so big I have nowhere to put it. So now let's jump in and have a close look at Sora himself. So here we have Sora in all of his glory, and as you guys can see here, he looks brilliant, very game accurate. So let's jump right in and have a closer look at all of his little details. Something different about this Sora compared to other Soras that have been released is his face mold. While others kind of had this stern, neutral look on his face, they decided to go with a smiling route this time, and I think it looks brilliant. He does smile quite a bit in the game, and he always gives us this kind of awkward, cheesy smile, which I love. They captured it really well. Something I also like about this figure is the glossiness of the eyes. As you guys can see, when direct sunlight is hitting his face, his eyes kind of have this real feel glossiness. If anything, I think they could have added a few more whites to his eyes, since the blue is very overpowered. I also really like his hair mold, since his hair is really crazy in the game. It's very anime Final Fantasy crazy spikiness. As you guys can see, they captured that brilliantly with all the nice detailing and shading going on. As you guys can clearly tell, the shading is lighter at the outer points of his hair and darker in the kind of roots of his hair, which looks amazing. Overall, the face is spot on, I would say. It looks fantastic. Clothes wise, he's wearing what he wears in the Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance game, so this is not what he wears in his original. So he has kind of this, it's overall the same concept of his original, but it's kind of different colored. I think this chain and necklace could have been real. I think that would have been awesome if it was just dangling, but it is all molded. This jacket is all molded hard plastic. It's not any movable plastic, but it still allows for great movability, so that's still good. See, hoodie is hard plastic, not movable at all. And of course he has his really big Hammer Time pants, and that is all hard plastic as well. I think it would have been kind of cool if they made it soft plastic, so they could have added a touch bit more movability, but they were able to capture the accuracy of the clothes really well. You have his big pockets, those huge Hammer Time pants, and gigantic feet that he has. These shoes are amazing. They've paid great attention to all the zippers and detailing going on throughout his whole outfit, with nice kind of matted shaded detailing on the pants and the black on the shirt, with the kind of metallic feel of this necklace and all the zippers and details going on even on his gloves. So overall appearance, I think they did a great job. Articulation wise, he has rotation in the head, 360, and that can tilt pretty well as well, so down and up. He has 360 in both hands. He kind of has this ratchety elbow joint that goes back for some reason. He has a broken hand there, but and then it has decent movability. We have 360 in the hands, which are exchangeable since he does come with other pairs, and that can tilt up and down as well. All his joints feel really ratchety, and I think that's just the Play Arts Sky joints. But to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the ratchet joints. We have rotation in the waist here. It looks like there's an ab crunch here, but then it's really not. I don't think it is, or maybe it is and it's just not moving. Legs are a little bit limited since he kind of has these butt pads going on, so you can't push his legs back, but you can push them forward. Again, ratchety joint, and that can go around 360, I guess, but then I wouldn't push it all the way around since, I don't know, the ratchety joints kind of make me scared because it sounds like I'm breaking the figure. And knee articulation, I'm pretty impressed that they added the knee articulation, but how they did it doesn't look very great. And again, as you guys can see, and it can't do the most fantastic articulation. We have about 90 degrees with his knees, but I'm still impressed that they did add knee articulation. And of course he has feet articulation, which just tilt and rotate 360. So articulation wise, he is pretty decent. Height comparison wise, next to some other iconic game characters, Sora stands tall at 7.5 inches to the top of his head and 8 inches to the top of his hair. Next to another PlayArts Kai figure, Tomb Raider Lara Croft here, who stands 8 inches, and of course some Figma figures. We have Samus, who stands 6, Link, who stands 5.5, and Pit, who stands 4.5, and of course little Mario here, who stands at 4 inches. I would have liked Sora and Lara here to be in the same size range as these figures. I think that would have been so cool for them to be displayed next to each other. They could pretend to be in the Smash Bros. I think that would have been so awesome, but of course they are not in the same scale. PlayArts Kai are in their own scale, which is unfortunate. I think they make fantastic figures, but then they can only really stand next to each other. So now let's jump in and have a closer look at all of Sora's accessories. Accessories wise, Sora comes with a nice range of things from a variety of hands and keyblades to even a PlayArts Kai stand. As you guys can see here, we have his General Z Fault clenched fist that he comes packaged with. We have 2 grabbing hands for his keyblades, either left or right, and we have spread out fingers hands. Keyblade wise, we have his Kingdom key, we have his Sweet Dreams key, and we have his Ultima weapon key, and of course we have the PlayArts Kai stand that has to be assembled yourself. Luckily there are instructions on the box though that you can follow, since you do need tools, since there are screws involved, with which I think is kind of going too far for a stand, but oh well. Let's have a closer look at the keys. As you guys can see, they did a fantastic job with the paint job, with the kind of metallic feel. We have the handle and the key itself. We have this rubbery texture on the grip part of the key, which is fantastic. And we also have, of course, the kind of keychain going on, the Mickey Mouse head. And this is fake, so you can't detach it. Like, it looks like you can, but you can't. I think it would have been nice if they just made it real, but oh well. Of course, the Sweet Dream key is brilliant. It looks fantastic. They did a great job with the paint and the molding itself. You have the little face there with all of the sweets and the knife and fork at the bottom here, and we have that little chain at the bottom. They did a fantastic job with the kind of metallicness of certain areas on each keyblade, and the Ultima weapon key kind of has this translucent feel going on, and that is shaded with this foggy blue going all the way down the key itself. And that's the back. Again, the gripping part is kind of this rubbery feel, and that's the chain. They are brilliant. So now let's gear Sora up. And there we have it, Sora is all geared up holding 2 Keyblades. I found this to be incredibly difficult to do. It caused me so much stress. I'm pretty sure I have grey hairs now. Something that was really difficult is actually getting the Keyblade in the hand. If you could have seen me try to do, I actually recorded 3 minutes of footage trying to get that in, and then I restarted it for this video. It's just incredibly difficult. While hands these days are made of kind of this rubbery plastic, this one is solid plastic, so you really have to brutally force the fingers open, shove that Keyblade in as soon as possible while it's still kind of slightly open, because they will kind of reform back to his clenched fist. It's just way too difficult to do and caused me so much stress. I really wanted to murder someone, murder someone while doing this. I was so angry. I'm telling you guys the truth. Something I also found really difficult is that posing him with these Keyblades, this one's quite heavy compared to the Kingdom Key, so it will pop off his actual wrist joint, and when he does hold it, it does tend to slightly fall back down, so you do have to find a sweet spot that he can hold it in, and it will stay in that position, which is kind of annoying, to be honest. But overall, I don't know, it's really difficult. I don't know why Play Arts didn't give us rubbery hands. It's just so hard. I definitely would have preferred extra faces, like changeable faces, than extra Keyblades. I think he would have been fine with just the Kingdom Key, the Sweet Dreams Key, and the other key. I don't remember what it's called. It's nice, but then I don't know, nothing too special for me. Something I also found super annoying is this stand. I do not like this Play Arts stand. It just took too much time to make, and it's not even that great. As you guys can see here, the joint where the stand and the clasp connect is super loose, so it does keep on falling off when you do try to pose the figure on. See, it just falls off. See? Just falls off when you just tip it down a little. It's a horrible stand, to be honest. And this can't be moved. You actually have to undo it and then position it. Like if you do want the figure just standing up in a normal position, like stance, you can move it like that. If you want him to do, or her to do, high jumps or something, you can position it like that and then put the clasp on. But overall, I'm not a huge fan. It just took way too long, way too much effort for a stand, and it's not even that great in the end result. Even though I did have a lot of critiques about this figure, I still think he's one of the best Sora figures out thus far, with a fantastic accuracy and appearance to the gaming character. I know they are creating a newer version of Sora based off the Kingdom Hearts 2 game, so I really hope they do improve on everything I talked about here, such as the hands, the articulation, the base, and the accessories. Something I would really love to see is interchangeable faces, because posing him in a battle stance while smiling is kind of awkward, to be honest. I would also like to see the Kingdom Hearts brand further explored, with characters such as Goofy and Donald getting their own articulated figure. Wouldn't that be amazing, posing them right next to Sora here? I do recommend Kingdom Hearts fans getting a Sora figure to display on your shelf, because he is pretty amazing, but depending on which Sora you want, you can figure that out yourself. To be honest though, you might want to wait till the newer version of Sora comes out, because this one does have a lot of things he needs to be improved on. Until next time, I will see you guys soon. Bye!